Women's Basketball Weekly Update with head coach Aaron Johnston, coming off a one-game week and now two on the road this week. Halfway point in conference play. Let's just begin there. In second place in the league, one game out of first. At the midway point, what's sort of the report card here at the middle of the term?
Well, I think you have to look at the full semester, the full midway point, and we've played really well. I just think that's been really positive for our team. After we got back from Christmas, we really played, I thought, well offensively and defensively. You saw a lot of new faces step up. Megan Boltzma became a huge kind of spark to what we've been doing. I think Peyton Burkhardt is a familiar face from the beginning of the year, but she's our leading scorer. Someone coming into the year that's really had to grow and really had to take some strides forward. We've got some people healthier, which I think has been important for us. I really like what Lindsay and Tylee have been doing in that lineup, and they're giving us good minutes, playing really hard. Riley's been really solid at the point guard spot. So, I just feel like the team is played well. The challenge would be, you always remember what the recents are, and we haven't played well offensively in the last couple of games for different reasons, different reasons that we have to try and make sure we sort through. But, all in all, I really like where we're at. One loss on the road against a good USD team. The rest of the games we found ways to win, and that's what you want to do.
And in that game, most recent outing on Friday, you mentioned you struggled offensively, and yet you're in that game the whole time and eventually come back to win because your defense allowed you to stay in that.
Yeah, defense was really important there. Never really let North Dakota State run away. We played as poorly as we've played, I think, all year offensively. We missed probably a dozen shots in and around the rim that are all very makeable, and you start adding those possessions and those points up, and it's a different game. It's a different feel, everything about it. So sometimes offensively you have to look at, when you're not scoring, what the cause is. And sometimes you have to look at adjusting your plan and put people in different positions. Sometimes you just got to make some shots. And that game was we needed to make some shot kind of game. We had really good execution. We didn't turn it over much. We got good looks by the right people. We had open threes. Sometimes it just doesn't go in. So it's nice to see our defense can keep us in there. We did mess around with some different lineups throughout that game. Went really big a couple of times, went small a couple of times. That smaller lineup gave us a good spark. So it was just good to see that we could be creative, and I thought the players adjusted really well.
In the first three quarters, you couldn't string together consecutive baskets, so it's hard to make a run. But in that fourth quarter, 3 straight baskets, the crowd got into it. That was the turning point of the game.
It was, and that was a little bit of a smaller lineup. We made a couple of plays defensively, turned it into some quicker baskets at times, and we just need more of that. That was a game where I thought we played hard, we were in good spots, but sometimes you got to make plays. Sometimes you got to find a way to get a steal. Sometimes you have to find a way to knock down a shot. And we just didn't make enough plays offensively and defensively. But I always felt like we were in the game. I always felt like what we were doing was going to be productive. We just needed to see the ball go in. We needed to make a couple plays defensively, and that's how that fourth quarter started.
You have 2 games on the road this week, and it's not hard to see why you and USD are the top 2 teams in the conference, because you two have been by far the most consistent on the road in league play. Everybody else, it's been a dogfight for them to get a win on the road, and you two have both been very successful away from home.
Yeah, and this will be our toughest probably road trip in terms of turnaround. You go to Macomb for a Thursday game, then to Tulsa on Saturday. That's a tough stretch. There's not an easy way to get between the two. And you're playing 2 really good teams who traditionally play well at home. They both match up well against us. We've had really good battles with them. So it's going to be a tough trip, and we're a little thinner than what we have been sometimes in the past. So you have to find a way to kind of gut that out. But I'm excited to turn the page on what we did in the first part of our conference season, get ready for kind of the home stretch here, last couple of games here in this month, and then we'll get ready for hopefully a really good finish.
And we talked about this the first time around when you played these 2 teams, but 2 totally different styles you see again in less than 48 hours.
Yeah, I think at this point in the year, everybody has different things that they do, and we have different things we do to defend them. So you're all kind of in system and in your plan. But yeah, we'll have to adjust between Saturday and Thursday for sure. Western Illinois is playing much better than when we saw them here. They had some injuries. That wasn't their best team then, so it was a tough time for them. And we played well. We made a lot of shots and did what we've done to teams sometimes in Frost. So it's going to be a very different game in Macomb. They're getting to the free throw line a bunch. They're rebounding well. They're making threes right now. And when Western does those things, they're really hard to beat. So we're going to have to put together a good plan and get ready. Then on the flip side, down in Tulsa, you're playing a team just really physical, can match up with us inside probably as well as anybody in the league, can make threes. And when they put those kind of things together and they're making shots and defend well, they're hard to beat. So kind of different plans for us, but really playing against 2 teams that are capable of winning a lot of games.